I mean, let's go take a look. Sounds like a plan to me. On today's episode of Watch Chair Go, as you can see, we are loading up the trailer and going to buy a car. Many of you have been wondering why I've been gone for 4 days. It's because I broke my back again. It's not like, I mean, it's not broken, but oh man, is it hard to move. What is going on, guys? I am Watch Chair Go, and today I'm here with Eric, and we are headed to buy a Ford Focus Titanium Energi. Fusion, the big one. So this should have been the most expensive possible spec in a Fusion there ever was. The hybrid and a titanium, so it should have all the options. I think this car was almost $50,000. And on Marketplace, the pictures we saw, it looked pretty good. But then also there was another picture where the front clip was missing. So we don't know exactly what we're getting into here. We're just gonna drive. It's about an hour to go see this thing. And hopefully, I mean, we just picked up the trailer. Hopefully we're gonna bring it home. We'll see just how bad it is. Well guys, we did it. We bought a hybrid Focus that has been hit in the front and the rear. And we're just about done loading it up with our completely custom made Max Straps winch mount here. This is the winch from the off-road C5, and holding. With the old NOCO powering it, this winch absolutely rips. It's a Harbor Freight Badland.
Let it go back forward. We're gonna lose this tire.
It's gonna fall off the ramp?
Yeah, well, let it go back forward.
You sure you can't steer it on?
Yes.
All right, back down we go. This side was on perfectly.
Keep going.
Nailed it. All right, one little adjustment and we should be on here. This is hilarious. We needed a winch, so we made it happen. Hey, straighten the wheel now if you can.
That tire's broke.
No, the wheel's broke? Technically, we're loaded.
Hey, got it off the ground.
Well, guys, we made it back with our hybrid Fusion Energi. Look at that. I'm super excited to have a titanium because we've got radars on every side and the radars survived, and we even have some taillights. The most impressive thing about this, though, is there was the hood prop sitting here in the front. Not quite like that. But it rode the whole way. It made it an hour back to the house.
It was actually
just barely
like that.
Yeah.
I patted it and said that it's not going anywhere.
Well, that works out.
Yeah.
The whole way we were coming home, I could see this thing just going like that. It was just...
Well, the wind was just catching right here.
Absolutely.
Pulling it.
All right, well, today's plan is to get that on this trailer and to get the Mini Cooper out here because we need to haul some cars to the junk and go get paid. We need to get paid. And when they get scrapped, obviously, we'll make some money in the metal. So let's start moving stuff around. Like I said, we made it back to the shop with my new to me 2017 Ford Fusion Energi Titanium. Now, you might be looking at this like, wow, that's horrible. But personally, I think there is a lot of good to this car. Now, we haven't really looked around it yet, so we're gonna do that together for the first time. And I'm pretty pumped to take this one apart. Now, when we went to buy it, it was listed for $1,000 and it had a hybrid battery in it. And the hybrid battery is worth $1,000. So we were like, this is obviously something we're buying immediately because one part sells and we're good. Everything else is just pure profit. But the seller called this morning and was like, hey man, somebody came and bought a wheel and somebody came and bought the hybrid battery. So those two are gone. So unfortunately, some of the highest value items in this car are missing. So I tried to cut the price in half, go to 500 bucks, and the guy was like, dude, it's got cats in it. And I was like, all right, you win. Negotiation over. We bought this for $900. It was listed for $1,000. And we figured just the cats should get, hopefully, 300 bucks back out of it. And there should be plenty more in this car because like I showed you a minute ago, it is hard loaded. No joke. I think an Energi Titanium would have every single option there possibly was except for the sunroof. So let's walk around this thing and check it out. Starting under the hood here, which is hilarious, it's flopping in the wind the whole way home. Look at all this water. It's been sitting out in the You know, Kansas has been raining for 10 days straight, which has been horrible. We can't do any work outside for the most part. But the 4-cylinder engine's in here. It's either like a 1.6 or a 2-liter, I don't remember, but it has a special engine cover, which is probably very saleable. Everybody needs their engine covers. ECU's still in it. The inverter is still in it. So we've got lots of good up here without even digging deep. We knew right out of the gate once we opened the hood, I was like, dude, an inverter, we're good. So lots of good under there. Hopefully the engine starts. We're gonna try to start the engine. Maybe today, we might try to start it right now. The problem is, if you look right here, somebody got in here and took all the fuses. So for some reason, I have literally no idea why, but they pulled all the fuses out. So let's do a little guessing game here. We got this one giant relay, which is pretty obvious. Were they trying to disconnect the hybrids? Is that what they were doing? They pulled all the relays instead of the fireman's loop? Like, it's so easy to Google how to disconnect a hybrid system. You unclip one connector, it's always the fireman's loop. I'm pretty sure that's what happened on this car. So that has killed me inside. I literally cannot believe somebody would do such a thing. So there's some weird relays on here I've never seen before. A square relay with 4 pins, interesting. Both 8T, 2T CAs. Where does a square relay go? We gotta do a little look around here. Hopefully these work in any direction. Oh, look at that. There's where they go. Right there. So hopefully that does something. And obviously we're gonna need a fuel pump if we're gonna get this thing to start. So we'll just keep plugging stuff in here. That's probably important. The airbag's already blown, so I don't really care about anything. Nothing can go wrong here. Oop, that's not one. Let's see if this one is one. You can tell if they're blanks, if the relay just falls in the hole. Like that one needs a relay. I think that's every relay back in, right? No, no, yes, and no. So, wait, what's that one? We actually need, ooh, that one is one, but let's see if it matters. Oh, we can't even start this. The guy we bought this from told me there's no key in the car. Well, that is super unfortunate. He said that he went after the guy and tried to get the key multiple times. This was, the story of this car is this guy was completely drunk and went off an embankment and hit the back of the car and slammed the front of the car into a tree. And I think this is some of the tree right here. So the tree won. The car lost, and apparently the guy came and stole the key. It doesn't belong to him because the car belonged to the tow shop after that. Apparently the insurance said keep it, and it's titled in the tow shop's name. So big win for us, and big loss for us that we don't have a key, I think. I'm gonna hook some power up, we'll get some junk out of the seats, and we'll see if there's maybe a key inside in a cup holder or something. If there is, we can start it. If not, I guess this engine's getting compression tested and sent. Inside the car here, titanium things. We have the nice window switches. Oh, look at that. Every window auto up and down. How nice. That's how cars are supposed to be. It's got the standard locks from every Ford product, mirror controls, no power folding mirrors. It has the good system. There's a Sony amp in the back. Obviously auto headlights, fog lights, trunk button there, all digital cluster. I feel like that's gonna be worth a lot. And I need to cut the bags out of this. Look at all this. This is horrible. Cigarettes and playing cards just everywhere. So let's get in here. I'm gonna move some of this junk around from the person that pulled the hybrid battery. You can see the hybrid battery. It sits behind the back seat on this sled. And they took the battery after they uncovered it and left the sled in the back seat. I assume the sled probably weighs a little bit. We did get the wheel lug tool there. It looks like this is a jack handle that might extend, and the guy gave us the spare from another Fusion he had. He was like, oh, I got plenty of those, I'm not gonna miss it. I said we'd give it back to him. He was like, take the spare. So the spare out of this one was gone, but we did get a spare from another car that we will be able to sell. And obviously, he had a taillight. The whole system's in here, check it out. Do you know there's like a center mid bass in these things? 6x9s, a mid bass. I don't see a subwoofer, even though it might be back here, and that big old Sony amp right there. All right, so that's what we're working with. I'm glad we got this taillight. Hopefully it's not broken. It looks like it's in totally good shape, all LED. I bet that's expensive, so I'm pretty excited about that. Got this big old cover here. Fomoco. Oh, it is stamped on both sides, but it's easier to see on the dirty side. Too bad that battery's gone. I was so excited to have a hybrid. What could be more interesting than a hybrid? We do non-stop ice stuff on here, and it's not really interesting. It's all the same. And I absolutely love working on stuff like this where it's different. Oh, I see. They gave up on this because they couldn't get the seatbelts out. I'm pretty sure you can get that seatbelt out. You sure can. Look at that. It's super easy. Cool thing about this car is it's kind of half apart, so we don't have to take that much of it apart. It's already delivering parts and we haven't even started. Even trash ones. 7.6 kilowatt hours. More covers for the high voltage battery. And this one clearly used to sit like that and somebody kind of folded it up. Or, oh no, it goes like that. Okay. That makes sense. Well, it's a cool cover. I found some more stuff. I got the seat apart, another module. I don't know what this is. I'm assuming like the hybrid control module or something like that. Or seats. It's weird. It's got 3 pairs of the same thing on it. 3 sets of the same connectors almost. Another bracket. And then look what we just found. Tell me, oh, it's a Pittsburgh. I was like, watch it be a Snap-on. But anyway, this kind of makes it all worth it, right? Another pry bar, you can never go wrong. The 12-volt battery on this car sits in the trunk. We got the connectors here. So let's go get the jump pack, hook this thing up, and move some stuff around, see what works, and maybe, just maybe, we find a key inside this thing. Came with free snow. I'm gonna throw all this away. All right, guys, it's time to power this car up and see what happens. Hopefully nothing terrible. Let's give it some negative. I think I've got the power away from everything. Okay. That's why they pulled all the relays. It all makes sense now. All right, time to go relay hunting. All right, look at that. Lights. In the trunk we have lights. Right here we have lights. I think the headlights might just be set to on. I pulled the 2 tiny relays, assuming, you know, the horn doesn't really need much power. Of course, it was one of the tiny relays. I don't know which one, but we pulled them both, and I heard a doo-doo-doo. I heard a I'm a Ford, so it should have started up. Ooh, cluster. 83,000 miles? No way. The title said 116 on it because the shop messed it up. I should go look at the title and make sure we got the right VIN. Let's see. I believe this first because this was it looked like a clean car. Sure would love if the seats moved, but it looks like they disconnected all the seats and disconnected the shifter. I don't know why they did these things. So it's time for us to do the old fold the bag up and get in here. Wow. Oh, this seat's totally out. Hey, look at that. Even the knee airbag broke. Is vehicle plugged in? Yes, no. No key detected. Lots of stuff's going on. Vehicle is not plugged in. No. Okay. No key detected. Well, the radio's starting up, so that's something. Let's see what we got here. Hazards? I mean, they work. Did they disconnect the Sony amp? That's the real question here. Audio, sources, FM. Hey! Can we get... we got some I'm a Ford and we got audio! This thing's awesome! Steering wheel controls all work. I mean, this is as good as we're gonna get with no key, but so far everything works, and it was definitely hard loaded, super nice, heated, cooled seats. They have the seats unhooked, so of course they're not moving. For some reason they have the shifter out. Nobody knows what could have possibly happened there. The console might be unhooked. I don't understand why they would have had to mess with so much stuff. But the electronic parking brake's not doing anything. So I'm getting out, but this guy was definitely a Kyle. Take a look at this. We've got a monster logo on the steering wheel. I figured we'd find the horn with a little bit of probing there. All right, so it says 15 is the run start relay. I pulled the relay out and we're gonna try the little hacky thing just to see if this thing turns over, because I think it's actually pretty much, I think the engine's intact. Okay. Oh, it tried to run start, didn't it? what that is. I don't even know what that is. It just self-disabled. Interesting. Well, I thought we might get lucky and get a starter out of that thing, but obviously it's probable that the, oh look, it just engaged. Something in there's like, it's probably playing the I'm a Ford sound out of the engine as well. That's what they do with these new ones. Anyway, I assume the hybrid system probably starts the car with the hybrid assist motor or something like that. So we don't know how it works yet, but we'll get into it and we'll figure it out, and it'll be a lot more fun than another standard ICE car with starter. Well guys, she sure is rough, but one cool thing is, look at that, secure code in the door. The little touch sensitive one. I've never had a car with the touch sensitive secure code before. We might even pull the cover off on the passenger side down there and get the code just so we can play with it. Too bad we don't have a key. I will see if we can find the key. It would be worth an hour of driving to go get a key for this thing, because then I could sell everything on it for way more. It's super nice selling a key with a BCM and an ECU, and then everybody can just slap that in and have a running car, whatever they need to work on. Anyway, that's enough playing with this thing for now. I listened to the system for a while. It sounds great. HD radio, CarPlay. This thing was so loaded. What a great car. If you have one of these, I'm sure it's awesome. Another excellent road trip car from Ford. Just kind of like the MKZ and all those cars were excellent road trip cars. So this thing won't last more than a day or two. Blind spot in the mirrors. It's gotta have a lot of money in this car. I know it looks rough, but when we're done with this one, I'll tell you guys what we make on it. And you know, I figure we're gonna pay $900 and it will probably make $5,000-6,000 all in on this. So now I'm actually stopping for the day. We already have like the seats out because they were unbolted, and you know, we've made a bunch of progress for not doing any work yet. We'll get it on the lift, get this thing apart, start getting the parts out of here. Apparently the fuel door did work, so that's pretty cool. That's it. That is my new 2017 Ford Focus. I'm pretty excited about this thing. We were finally gonna have an interesting vehicle, and we would have had a hybrid battery and a whole hybrid system to disassemble, but unfortunately, they took most of it. So, we'll see. Maybe the hybrid engine's worth a lot of money. I didn't do any research on that. That is it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to head on over to shop.watchjrgo.com for cool shirts, not like this. And please like, share, subscribe, do whatever you want to do, and I will talk to you next time. The greatest surprise of the day about this car, though, was firing it up and seeing that it had 83,000 miles on the clock when the title said 116,000. I was like, man, I think we just have the wrong title. We must have screwed it up. But nope, this car had no miles. So hopefully the engine checks out. If everything's good there, I think we really, really won. That's my Fusion Titanium.